Imagine a year where kid movies are sad. They're really sad and they make you feel bad and sad.
What year is that, Sandro?
It's 1943, you sad little child. Hello and welcome to Oldie But a Goodie. Oh my goodness, it's Oldie But a Goodie. This is a big episode. Where we're returning to a franchise we did during our first ever year of the show, Lassie. We're doing the original This is great. And to celebrate, I'm out here in the South. I'm in Texas for some reason. I don't know why. I just thought I'd come to Texas. It's 1943. I'm traveling through time. My name is Sandro. I've got to try and find some random person for my co-host Zach to teleport into so that we can review this movie. Oh my goodness me. There's a roar. What was that roar?
Excuse me. Sorry about that.
Oh, no problem, sir. I'll be on my way. You look familiar.
Sorry, have we met before?
I don't think...
you may recognize me from my copious amounts of tigers I'm taking for a walk here.
Copious amounts of tigers? No, you can't be Tiger King. It's 1943. You're not born yet. You can't be Tiger King. Time's not that messed up.
Tiger King? I've been called that before.
You've been called that before?
Yeah, by that bitch, Carol Baskin.
Oh my god, it is you, Tiger King.
I hate that bitch.
Can we calm it down with the bitches there, Tiger King?
Oh, sorry. Is this a PG episode?
No. You can say whatever you want. Honestly, I don't really care.
Well, fuck Carol Baskin.
Wow, Tiger King, hang on. It's 1943. I know time's messed up because of a lot of shenanigans. Go back and listen to previous episodes for the information on that. But I didn't think it would be so messed up for you, such a famous human being, to be stuck here in Texas in 1943.
Well, Sandro, I got offered a deal by some weird gizmo man with some time-traveling device. He said he could get me more tigers, and I was fully down for it. Didn't realize he'd send me back in time so I could find, tigers before they became even more rare and extinct, and I could cage them up. And I was like, hell yeah, let me get some tigers.
Oh my god, you're taking tigers from the past to put in the future. That's animal time trafficking.
Yeah, somewhat, yes, Sandro.
You could be arrested for that.
I could be arrested for that, but that would require witnesses.
But I'm a witness.
You see, here's the thing. I'm sorry to tell you, but this fancy man offered me this deal as long as I set loose my tigers on you and murdered you in a tiger-related incident.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Oh, those tigers right there. Oh, they're growling, aren't they? That's not some stock sound effect off YouTube. That's actual tiger growls.
Oh, my God. Yeah, wow. Suddenly they sound a lot more realistic. They're a lot scarier when they do that.
Oh my god, are you gonna set them on me? Is that what you're gonna do?
I'm absolutely gonna have to do that. I apologize for that, though. Because really all I wanted to do was find baby Carol Baskins and murder her.
Yeah, that checks out. That seems like what you would do time travel stuff for.
Alright, I'm gonna release my tigers, but I'm gonna dramatically wait. I'm gonna count down from 5.
Oh my god.
And then once I've counted down from 5, I'm going to then release the tigers.
I need to get out my anti-tiger spray that I've created in between episodes.
4.
Oh, I'm gonna aim it at the tigers.
Was it 2?
Yes. No, 3's after 4. Tiger King, you're not Number King, that makes sense.
Yeah, look, I have over at least 100 tigers. Like, you stop counting after a while. You just got so many tigers. Oh yeah, I was gonna kill you.
Oh my god! The Tiger King, I can't remember his actual name, but he's been transformed into Zach.
Whoa! Holy crap, why are there so many tigers?
Yeah, Tiger King was sent back in time to do some animal time trafficking, which is a very funny pun, and I'm going to keep saying it.
Yeah, I don't think I can control these tigers on this very short leash. I'm just gonna let them go off into the wilderness of Texas.
That's fair.
And hopefully there's no consequences for this. Be free, tigers!
Oh my god, they're chasing the orphan!
Wow! Oh my god! Oh, I should have made sure the orphan was in a safe position before doing. Oh my god!
Let's move on with the episode then. Hello, Zach.
Speaking of animals loose out in the wilderness.
Oh, it's time to talk about Lassie Comes Home. Lassie Come Home. Lassie, get your butt home, you dumb dog. You're actually very smart. You're a great dog, Lassie. You're a really good dog. Was the movie good, though? I don't know. Zach, in 1994, when we covered that movie, we did the 1994 movie Lassie, purely because I had a copy of it on DVD from my grandma and I had never watched it before.
Yep.
From memory, that episode was really mean, but I remember enjoying recording that one.
I don't. I have no recollection of that movie. I'm trying my hardest to recall anything about that movie, and I cannot.
The only things I can remember is some kids smoked at one point and Lassie slow-mo jumped out of a window. That's all I can remember.
Yeah, alright, she did do that. Didn't she team up with another dog or something, or some other animals?
Maybe.
Or is that a different one? I cannot remember.
I don't know.
I actually can't remember anything from that movie, which probably doesn't bode well for it.
Anyway, you can probably check out that movie in our back catalogue, but we're doing the first ever Lassie movie now, Lassie Come Home. I have nothing to say about it. So, Zach, what's your first impression?
Whoa! Hey, this was pretty good. This was pretty... I was like, nah, boo-boo, stupid dog. I'm not gonna like your stupid film. You fucking make me care about some stupid dog because you think you're so cool. Back in 1940, what was it? 7?
3.
I was close enough. Counting's hard. There's a lot of tigers running around.
The sound effect's still going. It's honestly impressive.
Wow! Oh my god, yeah. They sound terrifying. No, it was pretty good, actually. I enjoyed it.
Okay.
I was trying not to enjoy it, but then I was gonna come and be on, I did a fucking dog, stupid dog movie. I hate dogs, and I hate dog movies. No, I kind of liked it. I kind of enjoyed it. And of course I got sad at the end, because it was being mean to a dog. Fuck you, movie. You tear-jerking motherfuckers. Dogs are my weakness.
I love how it's like, we didn't pick them, but some options over the last few weeks have included Dumbo, have included Bambi, 2 very sad kid movies, and this is another very sad movie for kids. Like,
I wouldn't have cried at Bambi. That movie's just hilarious. When the mum gets shot.
You're a bloody psychopath, mate. You're a bloody psychopath, I'll tell you that much.
No, that movie was pretty sad.
This film was I thought it was kind of boring. I thought it was kind of not bad. I was just like, here's my thing with this movie. It's meant to be British. All the actors are meant to be British, and the actors are British, but no one talks like a real person. And it really made me... I just couldn't get on board.
Are you insulting all of Britain right now? Is that what you're doing?
No, like, the acting was kind of terrible. The editing was kind of terrible. The only good stuff in this was the dog. And maybe the kid. He's good too. But, like, I was like, I don't know. And it was kind of boring. I thought it was kind of boring. I hate to say it.
Pretty sure that's just how the British talk back then, you know?
Well, there's a couple ones. Like, at some point, Lassie comes across a traveling salesman and he's all like, got to get the milk from cow. Like, he talks like that. And I'm like, that's pretty on point. Mm-hmm. But the mum was like, child, thee be tired. And I was like, no one talks. Like, when is this set?
They might have talked like that. You don't know. I mean, actually, you would know. You've been living in the century right now. It is
Exactly.
that time. I was going to criticize you for not living in that time, but it's literally this time. You've had a year of hearing people talk. Yeah, you're right.
Exactly.
I'm so sorry.
And everyone talks like an Australian guy doing an accent. That's
Yeah.
that's what everyone sounds like during this time.
Weird that.
But yeah, I don't know. I thought it was kind of funny. Like, there was some good stuff in this. That there was definitely some tear-jerking moments, particularly because I'm not living at my old home anymore. But we have had to say goodbye to the dog that was there for quite a few years recently. So there was some points in this movie where I was like, oh, that's hitting a little bit hard. But
yeah,
it was also kind of boring. I don't know. The final hour went on for like 3 hours too long.
Wow. Okay, that's fair. I enjoyed this film. Maybe I had enough beer with me to carry me through the dull moments.
Oh, believe me, I had 3 beers watching this film.
Maybe you had too many beers. But I enjoyed it. I was just kind of chilling. So these sort of long periods, I was kind of down for it. I was just kind of in a zen mode when watching this film, which probably helped me get through it, because it did feel a bit long. But I actually enjoyed it.
I think as well, for me, it's also a case of, like, this is an MGM movie, especially considering everything that they did with The Wizard of Oz. I was always like,
yeah.
was this safe for the dog, though? Like,
yeah.
There would be some scenes that I'd be like,
That was the question I was going to come in today. It's like, so, Sandro, how many dogs?
Just one. Just one dog.
Just one died? Oh my god.
No, as in one dog played Lassie, and that dog continued to play Lassie for another 8 years.
Wow.
That dog was Lassie in so many movies.
Oh, that's awesome. What a bamf.
The dog was called Pal. He was a male, rough collie performer.
What a king.
The first dog to be Lassie. And great dog. Great dog.
Yeah, very good.
Great doggo.
Good dog. Great doggo. So this is the first Lassie movie, yeah?
Well, the book came out like 3 years before this.
Yeah. But I'm just double checking. This is the first ever Lassie movie. Was there a TV show production or like a Flash Gordon like weekly series for it beforehand?
That is a good question. There were TV shows, but they were more in the 50s and stuff, like a lot later on.
Yeah. That's what I was thinking. Because it had a lot of color in it, and I was not expecting color. When I think of like the first Lassie, I think of a black and white film. But that must have come after this.
That probably would have been the TV show then from the 50s.
Yeah, exactly. And so I was a little confused on that aspect. But then I was like, this is actually a very colorful film.
Yeah.
Very beautiful.
It was shot in Technicolor, which is odd. I think it's just because it's MGM and they had a lot of money.
Yeah,
I think that's probably why.
Oh, but it's great. It's gorgeous looking at points. So I was like, oh, I was not expecting this. Ooh, look at that. Very pretty. Very nice.
It definitely was, yeah. And there's some moments where it's just like Lassie out in nature and it all looks quite good.
But yeah, I thought the boy's acting was pretty acting, but he actually wasn't on screen for that much. I mean, he did have one scene where I thought it was pretty good, where he got given a gift, but beforehand he thinks he's getting Lassie back, and so he has to take the gift and pretend he likes it. And he's like, oh yeah, absolutely smash it. What does he say? He says something very specific.
Oh no, he's like, that's champion. That's champion.
Champion, that's right. Yeah, he says, that's champion. But you can tell he's sort of cut up about it. And I'm like, that's pretty good.
The actor who plays Joe is Roddy McDowall, who's a very popular actor. He was also in My Friend Flicker the same year, which is about him and a horse. I've not seen the original, but I've seen the remake.
I think I know which one of these series picked up, you know? I haven't heard of Flicker the Horse so much.
Flicker did kind of well. Like, it's also kind of well remembered, but I think maybe because Lassie had the TV shows, it has that upper hand.
Yeah, I think Lassie got the upper hand because it's a dog.
Yeah.
You know? And not a horse. But, like, yeah.
But Roddy McDowall, he played Cornelius and Caesar in the original Planet of the Apes movie.
Whoa! What? Oh my god. He was pretty good.
Yeah, he kept acting, like, right up until he died in 99? No, in 98. His last movie appearance was A Bug's Life.
Wow.
Like, he was still doing stuff in the age of animation.
Damn, that's crazy that he's, like, in this and then all the way up till now. Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah. He did talk like a middle-aged British housewife every now and then, though. The same issue I had with the kid performer from Captain's Courageous, but I think that just might be the accent that kids did at the time. I don't know.
Yeah, and like the style of writing as well. Like, because of these and thous, they come from a sort of theatrical theatre production sort of thing. And a lot of early movies, you know, they were just fancier plays that they would do for movies and stuff. So you got a lot of play acting and a lot of play writing. And so it sort of translated across. And I kind of like that. Maybe that's why I enjoyed this more, is because I just didn't notice that they weren't talking like real human beings. I was just like, yes, I know thee and thou. That's what I use all the time.
Yes.
I live in 1940s British Commonwealth household. Yes, thee and thou, yes.
Yeah, well, I mean, I did want to see who this was written by, and the book is written by a guy who we'll get to later, but the script of this movie was written by a Canadian lad.
Ooh.
So that could potentially be why no one sounds like they're actually British.
I've been to Canada before. They actually say thee and thou all the time over there, even nowadays.
Oh, really?
So that makes sense. Yeah. That makes total sense now. It doesn't make sense, of course, for the British to be saying it, but it makes...
Exactly.
Yep.
I'm trying to think of, like, other stuff that we can say. I mean, we kind of, yeah, like, do you feel like they tortured a dog for this movie? I think there's some parts where I'm like, on screen, it's definitely a bit brutal if you love animals, but I think they maybe filmed it safely. Like, there's some stuff here where Lassie gets into some trouble.
I didn't see any doggo abuse on screen, which I was looking for. I was keenly looking for it. They do make a dog swim, but, like, it looks like it's cut between.
Yeah.
And there's no, like, going through a rapids or anything like that. No, it's just, you know, you take a swim. Honestly, the dog looked like it was having a great time, so...
Yeah, that's a thing to, like, note, is there's only one scene where Lassie doesn't have her tail up, and that is, the storm sequence, I think?
Yeah.
Where she's, like, running through a storm?
Yeah, the dog probably felt a bit uncomfortable when they, you know, got a watering can and trenched her. It was probably freezing cold.
And also, the dog has to fight another dog. And that was a bit like, oh, those are two dogs fighting. But then I noticed, their tails are up. They're having fun.
Yeah.
They're having fun. They're tussling.
Yeah, they were doing a play fighting thing. That was still very concerning when that happened, actually.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, that's not great. I mean, the dog did go on to act for, 8 more years?
The dog lived to be 18, which is very old for a dog.
Yeah, that is very old. So they probably kept it pretty happy.
Yeah.
By the sounds of that, it had a pretty good one if it lived to 18, so there you go.
That's true. Oh, I love here on the dog's Wikipedia page, it says, Pal was a male dog performer and the first dog to perform the fictional feline collie Lassie in film, television, and radio. Just get sound effects of a dog. Don't bring the dog into the radio studio to play I mean, it's authentic, but...
I mean, Sandro, how do you think sound effects are made?
No, like, I'm just imagining, like, them bringing Lassie into a studio and being like, now bark, dog. You can get any dog bark from, like, the years of radio that you've made so far.
Sure, but, you know... They could probably use some more sound effects. Like, you gotta go out and make the sound effects first before you can use them.
No, it's true. It's just kind of funny that she played herself on the radio even though she's a dog. I just think that's kind of funny. I think it's authentic and good on them.
I would like the authentic Lassie sound effects. I don't want any old stray mutt sound effects like you. I want to know that the, actor of Lassie, the professional dog, was there to bark in the studio for them, you know? Back in the day, they had a bit of integrity,
integrity, definitely.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think if there's anything else to really mention in non-spoilers. Like, this is a very spoilery movie. Like, if you've seen Lassie, and you're like, I want to see the first Lassie, watch this. I think if you're a kid, you'd probably like this as well.
Yeah, it's definitely a much better kids film.
Yeah.
Maybe the like more adult aspect of it, you know, like the crippling poverty is definitely more of a relatable subject, especially nowadays, seeing as we're going into a recession. But you know, it's more of a kids' film, so watch it with your kids, watch it with your cousins, watch it with someone young,
watch it with your nieces and nephews,
or if you're young, just watch it.
No, it's a good film, I guess. I don't know. I was kind of bored. I'm going to give it an oldie because I don't really care, but it's fine, I guess.
Wow.
Because I know that you're going to give it a goodie, so...
Yeah, wow, you're assuming. You know, I'm going to give it an oldie just out of spite.
Oh my
How's
goodness.
that? Then we're both boo-booing this fine film. How about that? No, I'm giving it a goodie.
Like, I think it's fine, but it's like the opposite side of fine that Hold That Ghost was, whereas I was engaged with Hold That Ghost the whole time, but I still think it's like a 3 out of 5 film. I think this is a 3 out of 5 film, but I was kind of bored. So
I think it's a 3.5. Boom.
Whoa.
Got him. 3.5. And I enjoyed it. And I think anybody who's interested in, you know, the concept of Lassie, a little dog adventure movie, go watch it. Yeah, go watch it. It's a good fun time. I'd suggest go watch it. It's a good movie. I'll give it a goodie.
Is there anything else to mention before we get into spoilers? I'm having a look here. I mean, it's based off a book, and the movie does open with a weird, like, it's so weird. So it opens with, like, a narration being like, the book was written by Eric Knight, who fought in the First World War as a Brit, and then died in the Second World War as an American. This movie is about how great America is, but also it's about the spirit of Yorkshire. And I was like, kind of weird for you to put that at the start of the movie and just talk about how great America is.
Yeah, okay, yeah. I like the dedication. The way the dedication was very weird. That is a weird, like... Oh yeah, America's great, but you know what's greater? Yorkshire.
It's not like, you know what's greater, it's like, but you know what is also great? The spirit of the people in Yorkshire. And I'm like, okay.
No, I'm pretty sure the entirety of Yorkshire is better than the entirety of America.
Yorkshire? You're from Yorkshire? I love being from Yorkshire, innit?
Go Yorkshire!
I love drinking from water bottle when I'm in Yorkshire. I love going for a ride in pond.
I love writing dedications to authors, but also bragging about how great Yorkshire is, innit?
That's right. That's more of a Scottish accent, but I don't care. I love going to Letterbox and getting myself letter. I just really like how they talk. It's because they leave out random words. I like it. It's good.
I mean, we can relate to that. As Australians, we're trying to reduce the amount of lingo we're saying out our mouth holes constantly.
Gosh howdy, it's me, Selly McSeller, and you know who I love more than Colonel Sanders? Why, it's Zach, Sandro, and Nicolas Cage. He's my favorite actor, and they're my favorite podcasters. And that's why I'm so excited to say that over on patreon.com/oldiebutygoodiepod, they're doing 3 months of Nicolas Cage again. It's the Cage-a-Rama Volume 2, starting with Ghost Rider 2, and here's a fucking clip for your ear holes. There's a bunch of, like, animated exposition drops throughout the film, and we see one about the devil. You know, he's been, like, various historical figures throughout history. He's been one of the Huns. I think it's, like, he's, like, Attila the Hun or something.
Yeah, he's Vlad the Impaler.
Yeah, a bunch of people.
That's what I noted.
And the devil was Stalin.
Yep.
Not Hitler? You're choosing historical people to make the devil, and you choose Stalin and not Hitler?
Stalin was pretty fucking bad.
Stalin was bad, but Hitler, but not Hitler? Oh my gosh, I've been waiting for this for so long. Cage-a-Rama 2, and it's starting right now over on patreon.com/oldiebutygoodiepod. You better love Nicolas Cage, because they're doing 7 movies over 6 episodes over 3 months. Patreon.com. Get ad-free and bonus content there now. Time to get into spoiler. If you have not seen film, maybe go watch film. It's set in between World War One and Two. All of England's sad and depressed because it's the Depression. There's two adults. They got a kid called Joe, but the two adults are like, we got this big dog. We got this big dog, and the big dog eats so much food, so we're gonna get rid of the big dog and get some money.
I'm sorry, gotta buy more tigers. Gotta sell this dog. This is very sad, because of course everyone in the town knows the dog, of course.
Of course.
Because it's the one dog that exists in this town.
It's the only dog that ever existed in Yorkshire, and still has to this day. Never been another dog in Yorkshire.
There's been no other dogs. But, like, it always goes to the school at exactly, 4 o'clock or 3 o'clock? The butcher has his like pocket watch, and he flips out his pocket watch and nods at the pocket watch, being like, "Oh, that dog's on time." And then you got the cobbler off the street. He nods his head. He's like, "Yeah, that dog's got to pick up a boy."
That be Lassie.
I found it so fucking funny. I love that because I knew they were going to do a callback at the end, and they did, and it was mwah. I was like, yes,
it was pretty good. I do like Lassie is clearly a very smart dog, and I like how they portrayed that from the get-go. It was good.
Yes, I like the way they portrayed her as a smart dog. They didn't just tell you she was a smart dog. They showed you.
Yeah.
Of course, the gentleman, he doesn't want to sell his dog because it's his dog, but he has to sell the dog because they got to live. But you could tell they were all sad about the dog.
Aside from the mum, now the mum in this movie I've got many questions about. I came around on her near the end, but
yeah,
I think it's a mixture of the acting is kind of terrible for her.
Oof.
This is not a good performance. She's very odd. I don't like it.
Whoa.
That's my hot take.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting for me. I'm wondering if it was the script or her, but she was obviously meant to be sort of hysterical a bit.
Yeah, because it's the 40s and the women be crazy.
Yeah, no, and that's the thing. And so she tries to act that way, but it doesn't feel natural because that's not how women exist.
That's not at all right. Yeah, exactly. I like the dad. I think the dad acting was good.
Yes.
But the mum, I was like,
It didn't feel very natural because, of course, when they sell the dog, she goes into denial.
Yes.
And says, "Oh, I wanted to sell the dog. I hated that dog. This is better than trying to take control of the dog. It was harder than trying to raise a kid. You stupid dog. I hate that dog.
We're going to save so much money now, not having a dog."
Yeah, which makes sense. But yeah, the way it's portrayed doesn't quite translate as well, which is unfortunate.
Also, when they get rid of the dog, they don't tell Joe. Now, this was not good. I didn't like this. Maybe tell Joe that you're going to sell the dog. I know that it'll be harder, but Joe, how old do you reckon Joe is? I think he's maybe 12.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. 12, yeah.
Yeah. That's old enough to be, to probably tell him that your dog's being sold.
Yeah, but also that implies that they were good parents, which not all parents are, and not all of them are perfect, and breaking... I would never want to tell my son that I was selling his dog. So I could understand them be hesitant or wait till they've sold the dog to tell them. I can understand why they did it. I think it's a shitty move.
Yeah, don't do that.
It's bad parenting, but I understand why it happened like that, you know.
I mean, the dad's like, I'm a man. I gotta provide. I'm a man. I'm a man. Men, no emotions. I'm a man. And then the mum's like, I'm written by a man, so I'm hysterical as well. Women be crazy.
Yeah. Ooh.
And then Joe's like, oh my god, you got rid of my dog. Probably should have known that from the start of the movie when my mum's like, yeah, go out and have outside time with Lassie. It's very important, especially right now. Probably should have picked up on the signs that means something.
I mean, yeah, but as a kid, I wouldn't have expected that to mean, we're selling your dog.
It's true. It's true.
as an adult watching this film, I didn't expect that to mean, oh, we're selling your dog.
Yep.
I thought it was like the dog's birthday or something. I was like, oh, they're going to do something nice. It's going to be a little celebration. Oh my God, they're selling the dog.
They're selling the dog. And they sell the dog to the Duke. The Duke. Now, the Duke is great. I love the Duke. The actor who plays the Duke is so funny.
Yeah. It is, oh yeah, very well acted. And I liked his, was it granddaughter?
Yeah, his granddaughter Priscilla.
Yeah, she had very good acting in this film. Also, I think it might be a slightly unrealistic depiction of the rich.
What do you
but
mean?
I'm going to move on past that.
What do you mean? No, it's very much like it's kind of like a Colonel Sanders sort of rich boy.
Yes.
He's got the mustache. The actor, by the way, though, Nigel Bruce, was a pretty popular actor at the time because he was playing Dr. Watson on the Sherlock Holmes series that was currently going.
He would make a good Dr. Watson. I could see that. Good actor.
Also, what does he do? He's a duke, but because he has a lot of show dogs. So is that how he makes his money?
I don't think so. I just think he's a random rich person. My guess is investment in coal companies.
Oh, no!
That pump CO2 into the atmosphere.
Yay. I love people who do that. They're my favorite sort of people.
I definitely got the vibe that he just had dogs on his property and liked dogs. Maybe he does do a bit of show dog on the side, as like a hobby. He seemed pretty interested in dogs, but not necessarily his thing.
When Lassie moves to her new place, though, she's not having none of it. She's escaping, she's digging holes, she's jumping over the fence, actually jumping over a fence. It was very impressive. And Mr. Hines is the kennel master, and he's not having none of it. He's like, Lassie, you dirty dog, and get back in this kennel, I'm going to chain you up. And the Duke is like, well, I think you're an idiot, Hines. I'm beginning to think that you're a nincompoop. You're a bloody nincompoop, Hines.
Ooh, savage.
Absolutely savage. I liked the performance of the Kennel Keep. Like, that was, it was like a cartoon villain. It was so weird.
Yeah. And I think that's great. He was a fun villain, because he was like, oh, I'm gonna chain this dog up. I'm gonna make sure they don't escape. And then the guy comes back and is like, Hines, what the fuck, dude? Why are you fucking chaining up my dog? It needs to go on a run. God damn it, Hines, you stupid fucking idiot.
Where's your brains, Hines? It's there on the floor and Lassie's eating it, you disgusting scum lord.
Scoop up the poop pile that is your brains and put it back in and do right, you stupid idiot.
Do right. Hines, more like crimes, because that's what you're going to have to do to make money after I fire you, you piece of tissue.
Okay, all right.
You dumb. But Lassie's taken to Scotland. She's becoming a Scottish doggy.
Yeah, she's taken to Scotland. Have we talked about the granddaughter so much? I don't think we've talked about her enough.
Not really, but she's just in the place. I guess she lives with her grandfather, and she's like, I like that dog.
Oh, she's great throughout the movie. I liked her sort of character as like a smart little girl who picks up on things.
Yeah.
And the grandfather's like, yeah, you're the only one with gumption enough to talk back to me. Thank goodness you're here,
Yeah.
I love that. I love that dynamic between them. Where he's like this like big, rich coal baron.
Mm-hmm.
And, ordering people around and everybody's, scared that they're going to get fired or whatever. But this granddaughter's like, hey, grandfather, why the fuck is the dog tied up? Needs to run around.
Well, she talks back to her grandfather so much that in a scene where Lassie is being taken for a walk by Hines, she escapes from the walk, she gets out of the collar, she runs off. Priscilla's like, oh, the dog's running towards the gate. I'ma open it, let her out.
Yeah, I loved it. That's pretty great. So they take her all the way to Scotland because she keeps escaping and trying to go back to her home, to hang out with her kid. So then they take her all the way to Scotland, and what does she do? She escapes, and now she has to go from Scotland to Yorkshire.
Now, my internet's been a bit fucky, but I'm putting my phone on data so I can see exactly how long it takes to get from Scotland to Yorkshire.
Yep.
So it's about a 5-hour drive, which on foot, for a human, is an 86-hour-long walk.
86-hour walk. Whoo! It's doable because it takes over several days for her to get there, right?
Well, yes. And it takes several days, though, because as soon as she sets out, she's obviously got to, cross a lot of rocks and stuff. And we see Lassie, near the end of the day with just just completely bloody paws. And it was, obviously, it's jam or something because the dog was licking them, which, implies that they probably did that to get the effect of her licking her wounds. So it's probably jam, so it's fine. But it was still a very frightening image of a dog on screen with bloody paws because it's been running from Scotland to Yorkshire.
But yeah, and then she crosses the channel.
Yeah.
Which is a pretty cool little scene. We see her swimming along.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, it was quite pleasant. I was like, there's no crocodiles in Britain, right? But in Australia, my first thought would be, if you're crossing a water channel like that, I'd be like, oh, you're going to get ate by a crocodile. You fucked, mate. What the fuck are you doing? There's going to be a fucking tiger snake in that water. It's going to bite you. Oh, you fucked, mate. You fuck, don't do it. And then I remembered, they're in Britain, actually.
Yeah.
Nature doesn't want to just actively kill everything that enters it. Oh.
No, it's the white people who came from Britain who want to kill everything.
Yeah.
That's not...
Yeah, no, but I genuinely had that moment of wait, wouldn't she just die? And then I was like, oh, wait, no, it's not Australia.
It's not Australia. So that's the first obstacle she's got to overcome. The second obstacle is, she comes across a property of sheep, a lot of sheep.
Yep.
And something's been killing the sheep, so there's some hunters with their dog, and they're gonna take the reward of £1 for killing the dog that's killing the sheep, and their dog is called Satan. And that was funny.
It's little on the nose. Little on the nose there. But luckily, for some reason, the hunter that's hunting the dogs with his gun, he's an old soldier, but he doesn't want to kill the dog. He's like, let's wait and see if the dog goes for the sheep first. Maybe it's not a bad dog. But then Lassie spots them.
Oh.
And the other guy's like, she spotted us. And he's like, oh, shit. And he tries to shoot Lassie, and Lassie runs for it.
That's right. And they set their dog on Lassie, and it's like, go get her, Satan, go get her. And at first I was like, is that a nickname? Is that a nickname for the dog? Are they like, this is a mean dog, gonna call it Satan? But then later on, they're like, oh my god, Satan's fighting Lassie. And I was like, oh, they really just called their dog Satan. Cool.
No. It was actually a nickname. The dog's name was actually Saturn.
Oh.
Yeah. But they just abbreviated it to Satan.
Gotcha.
Because the dog was a piece of shit.
It looked like a bloody mean dog, and quite frankly, I'm glad that Lassie killed it.
It looks like a very friendly dog. I don't know what you're talking about. When the dog walked away, I'm like, that is the least evil-looking evil dog I've ever seen. It had his tongue out, its tail was wagging.
Yep.
I was like, that dog had a great time.
So then Lassie, she's been in a fight. She's gone through the river. It's raining. She goes to an old people's home. Not an old people, not a retirement village. A house owned by some old people.
Yeah. She has to make her way through the rain. We see this very sad rain scene. And she's stuck out in the rain. She starts crying. And the old lady, she hears the dog crying. She's like, honey, I think I hear something outside.
Oh, do you bloody hear something, Ethel? You're always hearing things. You're bloody hysterical.
No. I think I hear something outside. You should go check outside. You should go see what that is.
You gotta get me to go check outside. I wasn't working in the water. Go check outside. I'm bloody gonna.
All right, then if you're not gonna check outside, then I'm gonna check outside.
What? Oh, women go outside. It's the Depression era, and I'm an old man. I'm gonna go get the dog. Blah, blah, blah. It's a dog. I'm gonna carry the dog inside. Blah, blah, blah. I'll put the dog by a fireplace. Yes. That's exactly how that scene
That was
went.
spot on. That was like the exact scene from the movie. That was impressive. Wow, Sandro, you pulled that off well. So yeah, they bring the dog inside, and the old lady's like, oh, poor thing's not eating properly. Oh, she can stay here with us. She's our new dog.
Yeah, weird writing again for this character, because she was like, we've given the other owners their chance. She's our dog now. And the way that she said it with such conviction felt almost threatening, but it was pretty funny.
I mean, no, I'm pretty sure that's just how old people roll, Sandro. I don't know if you met them, but you do not mess with them. They don't give a shit.
I guess.
So yeah, they keep the dog, but then she realizes that Lassie's on a mission, and she's just too polite to run away.
Yes.
You know?
Even though she's been running away, that's kind of the whole point of the movie, was that she ran away.
Yeah, no, well, here's the thing, though. I think the old lady's right, you know? These are old people, and so Lassie's being kind to them because they're old people, and they were nice enough to let them in their house. Unlike, the previous owners would put her in a cage.
Yes.
Obviously, she doesn't want to be with them. It's not very warm and cozy there, whereas they're, like, putting her by the fire, like her old home, you know? But then, yeah, the old lady's like, all right, we gotta let Lassie go, and so Lassie heads off.
Yes, Lassie heads off. Would you get a quote, though, when they are taking care of her, where they're giving Lassie some milk, and they're like, it's a good thing that I have milk with my tea, so I can now give it to the dog. And the old man's like, well, I heard that in America, they always drink tea without milk. Oh, that's because they haven't learnt any better, my dear. I was like, what's this weird dig at America?
Fucking got him. You know what? They still haven't fucking learnt. Look, wasn't this film directed or written by a Canadian?
Yes, it's directed by an American, written by a Canadian.
Yeah, that's very funny that they're dissing America. But also, in Canada, they have bagged milk. So they're the fucking... Yeah, they're
they got goon bag milk over there. I bet it's alcoholic as well.
No, they definitely have goon bag milk over there, but if we in Australia had goon bag milk, it would definitely be alcoholic.
It would be.
I love me some milk.
Anyway, Lassie goes off and escapes. Lassie runs through England, trying to get to Yorkshire, and she comes across a travelling salesman. A travelling salesman with a small little doggo called Toots.
Oh my god, Toots is my hero.
Toots is the MVP of this film. I love Toots. Me and my friends all love Toots.
Yeah, Toots, I'm gonna say it, Toots is a better dog than Lassie. Toots is the best. I love Toots. Toots was my favorite. Look, it gets preference because it also fucking dies, Sandro. Yep. It fucking gets got.
Toots, unfortunately, in an incident where a bunch of men try to steal money from the traveling salesman, Toots gets hit by a big stick. She gets hit and she dies.
This I was not expecting, and it was heartbreaking. I was like, no, not Toots. Toots was so good. Oh my god, no, Toots. I was so upset.
It was, yeah. I was expecting, like, something to happen, like something really bad to happen to an animal in this movie, because it's the 40s and it's MGM.
I was expecting a broken leg, right? And then, like, the next scene you see, like, Toots walking around, but one of the legs is in a splint. I was not expecting the dog to just die. I was like, fuck, that's brutal.
And also, like, I want to know how, because then he picks up her body and cries about it for a bunch. That looks like an actual dog. Was she plain dead, or I don't want to know what they did. No. I don't want to know how they made that, actually.
Steve, you got the fake dead dog for the dead dog scene. Yeah, fake dead dog. Yeah, absolutely. It's a fake one. Here you go. Wow, you done well, Steve. This looks very realistic. Yeah. A lot of jam there.
Yep.
Am I right? Don't lick it. No, but it was definitely a fake dog. It looked,
yeah. It just, this movie is Technicolor, but it's not as, I guess, well restored as Wizard of Oz or Robin Hood were. So there's points where it looks kind of janky, and there's like some VHS tearing and stuff on screen. So the clarity's not great. So I was like,
yeah,
the clarity is making that dead dog look like a real dead dog, and I'm uncomfy.
Before we murder this poor Toots, we do get like scenes with Lassie traveling with the salesman.
Yes.
And it starts out pretty great because Lassie shows up And the salesman's like, oh, there's a dog. Oh, look at this little princess, this little majesty. Oh, I'm going to try and feed her. Oh, but she's too cautious. She doesn't want to come over and eat some food. Ah, she's a scaredy cat.
Yes.
Ah, silly Billy. Well, come on, follow me and you can have some food.
Now, this guy, he loves his dogs. He loves his dogs. We get a quote from him during this portion of the movie. He's talking to Toots, and he's like, you know what, girl? Wait, no, I've got to do the voice. You know what, girl? You're half better than a wife. You're neat, you're clean, and when you're around, a man gets no back chat. He's just a lovely man. He's a lovely man who respects women and dogs.
Lovely sexist dog lover. He's a good man.
He's a good man. Although, yeah, I loved when he's telling the dogs to do something, because there's very much like, go on then, pick up blue ring.
Yeah.
It's just, I love the accent.
Yeah.
I'm sorry if we've got any listeners from Yorkshire and I'm making fun of your accent. I'm not making fun of it, I'm admiring it. I love how you just forget words sometimes. It's great.
I'm making fun of you. Fuck you, Yorkshire. You fucking learn to speak. You fucking... No, it's pretty good. I like the funny accent as well. But yeah, he's a traveling salesman. He sells like tea and other things.
Yes.
He says it was squashed by elephants and other things like that, and everybody's having a good time. But then everybody's like, oh, the little girl comes up. She's like, oh, where's Toots? Get Toots out here. And he's like, oh, all right, let's get Toots out here. And then Toots starts doing little performing tricks,
Yeah.
Toots jumps through a little hoop, brings over the little hoop, and then jumps through the hoop.
Yeah.
She goes over to a ball and a little balance on the ball. I'm like, oh my god, Toots is so great. Look at little Toots go.
Amazing. And then he's like, but what about Lassie? Lassie gonna do any tricks? And everyone's like, you can't expect lady like Lassie to do tricks. But maybe if I ask really nicely, she'll pack up all the props for me. Lassie, will you do that? And Lassie picks up the ball.
Aha.
She picks up the ball. She puts it with the rest of the props.
Yeah. I like that. Because, of course, the salesman wasn't expecting the dog to be, so obedient and well-trained. And he's like, oh, yes, see, it's important to say please, And I was like, this... Yeah, I love that.
I forgot about that. There's a bunch of ham-fisted lessons for kids in this movie. There's one where I think it's the dad is like, now listen here, Joe. You've always got to be honest as a man. You must always be honest. And it's like, the movie stops for 30 seconds for this lesson.
But I feel like that's what a dad would do.
Oh, like, it's definitely in character. It's just... It feels like the movie needed lessons for kids, so they added in a bunch of random shit like that.
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't feel that. I just felt these characters were definitely more like child-focused, especially like the salesman. It felt like he was playing it up.
Oh, yeah.
To, be a salesman sort of thing, so... being the good influence on the kids, so that the parents will buy more tea, that sort of thing. It felt like sort of showy, so I didn't feel it was ham-fisted. It might have been in the books, actually. I could see the lessons being ham-fisted in the books, and so they were translated to the movie, actually. Yeah, I could see that.
But then Lassie, she's got to leave, and the salesman is like, oh, it's a shame you got to leave, but as I always say, if man don't like being alone, he should never have picked job of traveling peddler.
Yeah.
I was like, okay.
It's a weird thing to say all the time,
Yeah, it's weird to always say that. But anyway, she's in the city now. She's in the city and she's being chased by dog catchers, so she jumps out of the third floor of a building and breaks her legs.
Yeah. I was like, classic. We got some Lassie jumping through a window shenanigans.
Not in slow-mo this time, but I don't think they had invented slow-mo yet, so I'm pretty thankful for that. But she does jump out of a window, and then you get the sound effect of a dog being like...
Oh, I can't wait till they invent slow-mo and then use it for like 90% of the film. Sandro just has to sit there and watch it. Oh, it'll be so good.
It will be good for you.
I mean, every time slow-mo goes on screen, I'm going to look over to Sandro and just be like, he's suffering. But yeah, Lassie eventually gets home, right, now?
Yeah, she just goes home and she's whimpering at the door. The mum and dad are home and they're like, oh my god, it's Lassie. And they let her in. But as soon as they let her in, who comes a knocking but the Duke?
I like the dad quote here is like, well, if the dog wants to be here this badly, it's ours to keep. I have turned on a dime and we're keeping the dog now. But you could tell, like, throughout the whole movie, all of them wanted the dog to stay. They're just, too poor and all that. Anyway, yes, the Baron shows up and is like, that dog of yours escaped, and, well, it probably came over here. And they're like, what? No, not the dog? No, that's crazy. Oh, that's such a shame about that dog.
Ignore the whimpering that you can hear from that door. Ignore it. There's no dog here. There's no dogs.
Let me open. Oh, hey, here's a dog. What's this dog doing? Oh, it's sitting there. And the dad's like, that's not your dog. That's a totally different collie dog. You can see this is just a mutt off the street.
And then he's like, well, granddaughter, have a look at this dog. Have you ever seen this dog before? I'm giving you a wink. I'm winking at your granddaughter.
Oh, I see what you're putting down, Granddad. Oh, you'd never seen this dog in my life.
Why are you talking with an Australian accent, child? I've told you this before. I'm going to slap ya.
Whoa,
bam.
whoa.
That's how you do parenting in the 40s.
I don't remember that part of the movie. But yeah, no, they're like, no, we've never seen this dog before, even though they clearly know it's the dog. And I'm like, yeah, they're going to let them keep Lassie.
Yay.
And also he's like, and also we need a conclusion for this film. So would you like a job taking care of dogs, sir? And he's like, yeah, I'll take care of some dogs for a job.
That's right. So the dad is now the new kennel owner.
Yep.
And that means, as we then see at the end of the movie, it's Joe and Priscilla hanging out on the property of the Duke, and Lassie's got a bunch of kids.
Yay, little puppies!
Yeah.
Oh my god, I love how they just released puppies on the film set, and they were just wandering around everywhere. I was like, that's so cute. What a cute ending. I was like, oh, thank goodness for a happy ending. If this dog film didn't have a happy ending, I was going to be very upset. But no, we had a nice happy ending where everyone's reunited, the dad's got a job again, and we got little Lassie puppies, which they probably could give now to, the rich dude, so he doesn't lose on his investment of a dog,
And that's the movie. That's Lassie Come Home. Guess what? Lassie, spoilers, came home.
Way!
Good on you, Lassie. You little doggo. What an absolute legend.
Little legend.
I like as well, though, how the movie's like, Lassie came home, but Lassie's, sprained all her legs. She's probably infested. They're gonna have to take her to the vet, and that's a whole lot of money to pay for the vet. Sam, the dad, he's gonna be making money, and it's all gonna be going towards that dog. I tell you what, Lassie, you wrecked that family's life for a year, because they're gonna have to take care of you.
Fuck you, Sandro. Stop fucking ruining this fucking film. Fuck you. It's all happy ending. Everyone lived happily after. And also, they probably just took it to the rich person and they solved all of its problems.
That's true, actually.
And also, Lassie is a very clean dog. We see that she licks her paws to keep her nice and clean. So I think the dog's fine. She just needed some food in her.
Well, that's the movie. It's fine. I'd stand by it being an oldie because it was kind of boring. But also, it's fine, I guess, if you like this sort of stuff. Go check it out.
And I liked it. I liked it because I like the doggos. And the doggo lived.
The doggos are pretty good.
I was like, thank God the dog didn't die. I mean, the other one did. I feel so bad for Toots. Toots was my favorite. When Toots came on screen, I was like, oh my God, what a good little Toots.
It's good Toots.
Good Toots.
Yeah, that's what I call my toots. They're good toots. And you can quote me on that one.
That's what I call my toots. They're good toots. Sandro.
It's just as I always say, my toots are good toots. Well, let's come up with a bloody remake. We're remaking Lassie, but before we remake Lassie, gotta go talk about the other Lassies.
Oh yeah, there's like a million Lassie movies and remakes, so we've got our work cut out for us.
There's 7 movies in the series started by the film we just did. The sequel is called Son of Lassie.
Well, we did see a lot of puppies, so it makes sense.
One of those puppies grows up to be Laddie. That's right.
Is that true?
Yep.
Is it actually called Laddie?
Yeah, called Laddie.
Oh my God, that's so dumb. That sounds like something we would come up with.
Well, this does sound like something that we would come up with when we were coming up with sequels. Every single sequel you came up with was there's a war, and that's the plot of the sequel. There's a war, and the Duke's.
Oh, yeah, we did used to do that a lot.
The Duke's land is turned into a training camp for war dogs. So Laddie is taught to be a war dog. And then Joe,
Makes sense.
the kid from the first movie, he goes to war. He joins the Air Force, and he's shot down over Nazi-occupied Norway with a stowaway in his plane, which just so happens to be Laddie. So they got to try and escape Nazi-occupied Norway.
Wow. That doesn't sound too bad, actually. That could be pretty good.
I kind of want to watch it. To be honest, I kind of want to watch a war movie about Lassie's son. And it's interesting because it's like with Son of Lassie, and then also with the third movie, which is called Courage of Lassie, the main dog isn't called Lassie, but the main dog is played by the actor who played Lassie in the first movie, and they credit that dog as Lassie. The dog's name is Pal, but they credit the dog as Lassie.
Huh.
So it's like, starring Lassie as Laddie.
Ah, that's funny. That's funny.
So it became more about the dog actor than anything else, because the third movie is like completely its own thing. The dog's called fucking, the dog's called Bill.
Bill.
The dog's called Bill in the third one.
Oh my god. I would have never have guessed that in 1,000 years. That's so funny. Oh my god.
They made a whole bunch of them, whole bunch of stuff. I think after the sixth one, the dog was too old, so they recast the dog or something. I don't know. And then there's a TV show that went on for ages. In the 70s, they tried to reboot with a movie called The Magic of Lassie. In this one, Lassie's American. Lassie's from California. And it's a musical written by the people who wrote Mary Poppins or some shit.
Oh.
Apparently it's fine, but the problem is it came out directly after Star Wars, and no one gave a shit.
Right.
So...
Yeah, no one cared. Yeah. No, that makes sense. No, that checks out.
So that one did do well. There's the one in the 90s, which we already talked about, and then the one in 2005, which I think I've seen. It's like, it's fine. So let's come up with our own version of Lassie. Zach, what do you think? I want to directly remake this movie. I want a movie about the dog going from Scotland all the way to Yorkshire.
Is it based this time or the original time?
Let's set it just before World War II. Why not?
How does the dog get separated from the owners? That is my question to you, Sandro.
The dog it's exactly the same. The dog gets bought.
Okay.
The dog has to come back.
So you're just making a 1-for-1 remake of this movie.
No, I'm not making a 1-for-1 remake because in my version, the dog has a narration.
What?
The dog can talk. The whole movie is narrated from the dog's perspective. And who plays the dog? Jodie Whittaker. Doctor Who. Jodie Whittaker plays the dog.
Oh my god. I hate this so much. I hate this. This is terrible. But I'm down for it, absolutely. So that you can cast someone as the dog.
Jodie Whittaker as the voice of the dog. And she's like, when I was out there in Scotland... That's not how she sounds, but she's doing the dog voice.
So I'm imagining we have like a schoolyard scene.
Yeah.
Where maybe the kid's getting bullied a bit about how he loves his dog. And he's like, it's the smartest dog in the world. And they're like, if it's so smart, can it do this? And then Lassie does it. And they're like, oh. It does like maybe some basic math or something, and then it maybe does like some hopscotch, does it like on the paw thing, and it's like, whoa! So you see this crazy dog stuff, and then even the bullies are like, that's a pretty good dog.
That's a pretty good dog.
Are we having the same plot where they just have to sell the dog?
I guess because times are rough, they've got to sell the dog.
I was going to say the Lassie gets dog napped.
Oh, Lassie gets dog napped by... Yeah, okay. I don't mind that.
I'm going to say the bully's dad is like an evil coal baron.
Yes, okay.
And he gets his goon, his dumb goon to steal the dog. And so the goon steals the dog and then they go to Scotland. And then the bully kid's like, Dad, isn't that the dog that belongs to that person? Isn't it wrong that we have it? And the dad's like, shut the fuck up, you dumb boy. That's our dog. But then the bully kid is like, I'm going to set the dog free. go, run home. And then we have our dog adventure.
Right, well then let's begin recasting. We gotta have Joe. The only actor that I can think of is, she was in The Haunting of Bly Manor, where she plays a child who's always like, perfectly splendid. And the whole time I was watching Bly Manor, I was very distracted, because I'm like, that kid who's meant to be scary sounds like Peppa Pig. And it turns out that she was the current voice of Peppa Pig. So I want her to play Joe. She's still like 12, so I think that she could do it pretty well. I reckon she should be the kid. How about the Duke, though? We gotta recast the Duke. Who do you reckon would be a good Duke?
Yeah, and in my version, the Duke is just like a comic evil Duke.
Exactly, yeah. Kind of like a Cruella de Vil, but for dog pageantry.
Yeah. He's like the 100 Dalmatians one.
Yeah.
But instead of wanting to murder the dog for the coat, he just wants to keep it for the show so he can win the show. He's like, that will be the best dog in the show ever. I will win every year.
So someone a bit evil. We need someone with a good mustache as well.
Ooh, comically evil. I mean, we can put a mustache on anyone, right?
I can kind of see Will Forte doing a good job at that. He's a comedic actor. He's like MacGruber and stuff. He's pretty good in Sweet Tooth. It's a bit more of a serious role. He's very funny, and he plays man-children very well.
I was thinking of Hugo Weaving, actually. Which would be very funny to see him play a comically villainous person. Because he does a great villain sort of thing. So it'd be funny for him to be like a twirling mustache sort of villain.
He could definitely do it. I think he could definitely do it. Oh, and maybe then we raise the stakes. He keeps his accent. Oh, no, he is British. Because I was going to be like, maybe if he's the Duke, he brings Lassie to Australia. We up the stakes. Lassie's going to get from Australia all the way to England.
Oh, yeah, no. I absolutely dig this. Because then we can have like a Lassie goes around the world.
Yeah.
And she doesn't go like straight to Britain. She zigzags across the entire world, like taking trains, planes, and automobiles.
Yeah.
To like get to them.
Okay, well then who else can she come across that we can recast? I want to do the traveling salesman.
Oh, yeah.
For him, someone not from Yorkshire, but someone from Liverpool. He's also in Doctor Who, so he's got reputation with Jodie Whittaker. John Bishop.
Yes, John Bishop. Yeah. He'd be great. That'd be so silly. That's great. We get him a bowler hat that he like flips out, and he's got a cane and he does a dance with Toots.
Yeah.
Oh, I would love it.
Yeah. Is there any other characters? I guess the dad?
Yeah, we can do the dad. Obviously, that. So we've got the child.
Yep. We've got the Duke, we've got the salesman, and we've got the voice of Lassie for some... I don't know why we're doing that. Yeah, it's my idea.
For your sick enjoyment. Yeah, we could have the dad. So anyone else, really? I mean, there is the like evil goon, right?
Oh, Hines.
Yeah, Hines. We could recast Hines.
We could definitely recast Hines.
We need a henchman. Who would make a good evil henchman?
Yeah, like someone who's a bit mean but cowardly, so it's kind of a joke. We could get Will Forte for that role.
Yeah, I could see that. Absolutely. Yeah. Oh, they have a good mustache. Yeah. Have them as sort of the like rich henchman. They look like a butler.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But with like a bowler hat, and so they're going around and they're doing their boss's bidding, but they look like proper and they hold a bit of authority, All
right, there we go. That's our remake of Lassie Come Home. Oh, we need a director. Lol, forgot that those are kind of needed. I can't think of anyone.
Yeah.
The guy who did Spy Kids, Robert Rodriguez, directs this.
Joel Crawford.
Joel Crawford.
Who has done Trolls.
Yep.
The Croods.
Yep.
And, most importantly, recently, Puss in Boots, The Last Wish.
Oh, Puss in Boots is very good. He's an animation director, though.
Yeah, but, like, obviously he's mostly an animated director, but, like, Puss in Boots: The Last Wish was a good adventure movie where they went from places to place, right? So I'm thinking he would be good if you translate that sort of to real life sort of thing.
Well, I'm having a look here. Like, the guy who directed The Call of the Wild, which is a live action movie about Harrison Ford hanging out with a dog, was also the director of the original Lilo and Stitch.
Oh.
He directed How to Train Your Dragon. He's an animated director, which makes me think that you're right. Joel Crawford could then transition to live action.
Yeah.
Because Chris Sanders, he did it.
Yeah.
So I think you're right. I think Joel Crawford is the pick there.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's our remake of Lassie. And that's the entire bloody episode of Lassie Come Home. We're never doing a Lassie movie ever again. I tell you that much.
Unless we do. I hope we're done. Look, this Lassie was enough Lassie for me.
Yep.
Enough to Lassie a lifetime.
I mean, I kind of want to watch the movie where Lassie and Joe have to escape. Sorry, Laddie and Joe have to escape Nazi-occupied
Laddie,
Norway.
yeah, not Lassie. Well, sorry, Laddie played by Lassie, played by Pal.
Yes, exactly. I
Yes,
kind of want to
yes.
watch that, but I also won't. So anyway.
I also kind of want to watch that. Maybe we have to do a Patreon.
Well, speaking of Patreon, Patreon is doing stuff and things right now, because over on patreon.com/oldiebutygoodiepod, where you can chuck in a couple dollars, help out the show if you want. We appreciate everyone who does that. You get ad-free episodes, you get early episodes, but you also get bonus episodes.
Bonus episodes?
And not just bonus episodes, Zach. Right now, at the moment, we're in the middle of our Cage-orama, which is 3 months of Nicolas Cage.
Cage-orama.
And the episode out on Wednesday is Renfield.
Renfield. Spoiler for the episodes, it's really good. Go watch Renfield. Go watch it in cinema. Give them money, please. I want them to make a second Renfield. But listen to our review.
Yeah, that review's up there right now on a new Nicolas Cage movie. Very exciting.
Yeah. I love me some Nick Cage, and it's been real fun. We also did Ghost Rider 2.
Yes, that one's out right now.
Which was a movie.
I guess.
So, check it out.
Anyway, Zach, you go pick next week's episode from 1944.
Ooh.
While I say that you can also check us out on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. All the things linked in the description.
Ooh, we have Going My Way.
Going my way. I think that's about a missionary.
Yeah. We've got Gaslight.
That's a pretty popular psychological thriller, but it's like not a. I have heard of it. I know Ben likes it.
I mean, that's where gaslighting comes from, I believe.
You've got Cobra Woman.
What? What is Cobra Woman?
Cobra Woman. A man tracks down his kidnapped bride in a jungle. Cobra Woman. Her twin sister is the queen or some shit.
Oh my god. Oh, Phantom Lady.
Phantom Lady. She's a phantom.
We've got Cobra Lady versus Phantom Lady.
You've got the Scarlet Claw and the Pearl of Death, some Sherlock Holmes mysteries. Sherlock Holmes.
Ooh. But Sandro.
Yes.
Sandro, I've picked out a movie, and I think you'll be pleased with this.
You're going to be pleased with it. Ooh.
You see, we've done a movie quite similar to it. Involved certain people.
Certain people.
Turning into cats, perhaps.
Oh, no.
Yes, Sandro, I want to do Curse of the Cat People.
You're picking the sequel to the film we did last week that you gave an oldie?
Yeah. I thought the other one was terrible, but maybe this one is good, Sandro.
What? Okay.
Cassandro, hear me out. In the first movie, the Catwoman clearly dies.
Yes.
Is clearly dead by the end of it.
Yes.
But the actor comes back in this movie. So I want to see how any of this happens.
Okay.
I want to know. I need to know what's happening.
All right.
I want more cat people.
You want more cat people. The Curse of the Cat People. The sequel to a film that you gave an oldie but
Yep.
you're picking it anyway.
I'm picking it anyway. I'm doubling down, you know? This one can't be bad, surely.
Surely. All right.
Speaking of cat people, I've got to leave the Tiger King.
Oh, I see what you did there.
Yeah, like, there's still a lot of tigers around. I can hear them. Whoa, very scary.
All right, well, get out of the body of that man, because it's time to wrap up the episode. I gotta talk to Tiger King.
All right, see you later. Whoa!
There's tiger hair going everywhere. That rhymed.
That was a good round right there. Oh, shit. All my tigers are going everywhere. How could you have done this? I gotta go wrangle up my tigers.
You gotta go wrangle up your tigers, just like how you're trying to wrangle up the votes for the 2024 presidential campaign, Joe Exotic?
I mean, compared to all the other candidates, I somehow look like I have a good shot at this. Like, honestly, if you think about it, like, would that be the most outlandish thing ever?
Not really, I guess. I guess you could probably win, I guess.
There's no fucking way. I'm gonna have to let you go this time because I've gotta wrangle up me some tigers. But I'll get you next time.
Joe Exotic, you got into NFTs in 2021. Joe Exotic, why'd you get into NFTs?
Because they're a great investment for the future. You see, this Harry Grindle Matthews told me to invest in crypto and Bitcoin, so that's what I'm doing. And look, he's a time traveler, so I'm not gonna disagree with him.
Wow.
All right, I'll see you later. Bye-bye.
Farewell, Joe Exotic, the Tiger King. What a great adventure that was. Can't wait to do more adventures. Next week here on the... Hey, Orphan, what do you think of Joe Exotic?
I don't know what you're talking about, you blubbing C-section.
Oh, sorry, I think one of my tigers bit off your orphan's leg. Sorry about that.